Hey everybody, what's happening? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we have a bit of a compilation episode, some of the funner moments we've had, because it has been about a year since I've moved here to New York and since we've been doing the show again. Close to a year. I think we started last May, Billy and I. But the reason why we're doing a compilation episode this week is because we were going to record, and the Tuesday that we were going to record this week, they were doing a bunch of work in my apartment right above my room, banging on shit, talking all loud, cussing, swearing. But nonetheless, we wanted to put something else out for you. This, like I said, is kind of a compilation episode from some of our funnest bits, some of our fun rants. We have some guest episodes in there as well, or some clips from some guest episodes in there as well. I didn't want to leave you all high and dry for the week. However, next week we'll be back. We're going to have a Zoom episode next week with a very fun guest. But nonetheless, thank you guys still for tuning in. And here's a little something to keep your beak wet for the week. Thank you all so much.
I do know there is this one woman. I think we have an article about her. It's somewhere ready to go. There is this one woman that was able to. She's from Arkansas, and she had a great plan. She had a fantastic plan to get her tickets for Taylor Swift. Now, she was. You got to get ingenuitous, guys. This is very similar to a time like COVID, where money is tight, people are worried.
I think I'm putting up the right article, but
Yeah, no, it is. It's the woman from Arkansas. Yeah, let's get her up. Look at that. She's just trying to go to Taylor Swift, guys. Arkansas woman pleads not guilty to selling over 20 boxes of stolen human body parts. Now guys, this is why people are talking about the Swifties. People don't understand. Are there people out there that are selling body parts to go see Ed Sheeran? I don't think so. I think that Taylor Swift has a hold on these people, especially this woman here in Arkansas. I mean, an Arkansas woman has pleaded not guilty to charges. She stole body parts from medical school. Who wrote this? From medical school cadavers.
I thought you were fucking up, but then I reread it. And
Yeah, what the hell? Was she the one who wrote it? In jail. I'm from Arkansas. And I stole. Okay.
The charges is she stole the body parts from medical school cadavers and sold them through Facebook for $11,000.
That's pretty good. $11,000 for dead body parts. I mean,
they were free.
Right. That's all profit. This woman is. I mean, get her in the office to fix the debt problem. If we started just boxing this free shit up, what do they call that when they people like recycle?
Upcycling?
Upcycling. Yes. Perfect. This is upcycling. This is free shit that they're getting, that this woman is getting. She's getting from a job. She's getting paid to do this.
The most pure version, because you can't get more upcycled than dead to alive.
Right. So, Candace Chapman Scott. All right. If you have three names, you're a fucking idiot. You're from,
or just a bad person.
You're from some stupid
Lee
town.
Oswald.
There you go. What's the other one? John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth.
You're an assassinator. You're awful. You're an idiot, and we're going with that. So a 36-year-old.
Meta world peace.
There you go. There's another one. A 36-year-old former mortuary services worker is accused of selling 20 boxes of everything from skin to skulls to a man in Pennsylvania, according to a federal grand jury indictment unsealed by a Little Rock court on Friday. All right, so she's an opportunist is what I see. She's getting a little money on the side. I used to work for a bakery, and every once in a while you take a couple loaves for yourself. It's nothing. It falls off the truck. You've heard the phrase that it falls off the truck, and you resell it or you take it for yourself. You do whatever you want. This lady, she is doing something commendable. I don't know if she has a family, right? I can't imagine someone like this.
Should we Facebook her?
Having anybody that cares about her or that she cares about. However, if she did, then this story might even be more commendable because how how far she's willing to go. I mean, 11 grand, guys, that's not easy to come by in today. And it was all so that her and her friends could go see Taylor Swift. Now, Scott was charged. I like this part. Scott was charged with 12 counts of mail fraud, wire fraud, and interstate transportation of stolen property. So they looked at this woman who's selling dead people, pieces of dead people that she gets from her job, and said she's mailing things fraudulently. That's the charge we're going to get her on. We're going to get her on that. We're going to get her on wire fraud, and she's driving these dead things around, all right? She's interstate trafficking dead things. I mean, it doesn't get much better. The legal system doesn't get much better. How they haven't specified, is selling dead people not illegal? Or is it just the mail part that's bad? Is it the part that she's like, I'm selling kitchenware and people are getting arms and hands?
Is that just how she was caught? Or it was like...
Right. Maybe it could be that. It could be the fact that they opened. Maybe one day she wasn't selling an arm, and instead she was selling actual kitchenware that was marketed as dead people stuff. So that's the fraud. Maybe it was switched that day, and they caught her changing the body parts and calling them something else. I don't know. It's just funny to me that there's not like selling dead people. She didn't get convicted for selling dead people. She got convicted because she lied about what she was selling. That's what's funny to me. Now, this part is good. After one of the company's scheduled pickup days, she messaged the owner of a Facebook group. Now, I like this. This is perfect for modern technology, social media. I love it. A Facebook group explaining how she acquired the corpses. So she spoke to the owner of the... Okay, got you. How she got... So, because obviously it's like if you're selling drugs, you're moving weight, you got to make sure you know where it's coming from. Like, this is Colombian, this is, heroin from Vietnam. You want to make sure it's coming from the right place. Named Oddities, the private Facebook group. That sounds like a little beach town store. Like you go to a little beach town, Nantucket.
Yeah. Like a little fair or something.
Yeah, Named Oddities. It's like a plate that's painted real fluorescently, or a plate. Is
it named Oddities or it's named Oddities?
Oddities, right. I don't know. I don't think there's
no quotation, so it's...
Named Oddities. Interesting. I just love that. I hope it's called Named Oddities. We could probably find it if it's still around. Check it out for us. Go to the private Facebook group that contains about 380 members and bills itself as a safe way to shop. That's in quotes, though, so that's got to be on there somewhere. That's nuts, dude. 380 people on there buying and selling. I mean, guys, the world is for sale. Buy it, sell it, whatever the fuck you can do. I mean, they say that if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And it seems like this woman is on that track. Her and all the 380 other members. All them together, they're able to, it's like a yard sale. But I wonder what they do with them. Do they decorate their homes with them like Ed Gein back in the day?
She really must have done her research of where to post this, though.
Sure. I mean, you can't just go willy-nilly. You can't, I don't know if Reddit, I'm sure you could go to Reddit, 4chan. So I follow your page and work and love it. So she has a page and work. What's the work? What's the work on her page? Or on? Oh no! She's talking
writing that to the owner.
Got you.
Named Oddities.
Right.
Named Oddities.
Just out of curiosity, would you know anyone in the market for a fully intact, embalmed brain? Yes, I do. Of course. And if you want to go to Taylor Swift this weekend, you'll send it to me promptly.
Why is sick spelt incorrectly in parentheses?
Intact. I don't know. I think that means something. That's some like literary. I'm not sure what that is.
Is there like a footnote to
It could be. It
an
might be
image?
something.
Like if I click it, are we gonna get the brain?
Fully intact. Imagine he's like, well, it wouldn't be as, it's not as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you go to Pawn Stars and it's worth more money. It's not worth as much as a fully exploded brain. That if you
If
could,
it was Tina Turner's brain,
sure. If it was a fresh brain signed by the person that it came from, it could be good. Now Scott sent pictures of 2 brains and a heart. Could be anybody's. Who knows? Somebody died. I mean, the fact that people are even worried about the organs of a person that died, they keep them in, right? I don't know anything about embalming. They keep them. They keep the organs in,
no,
or
they got you like a fish.
they pull it out. So anyway, so fuck it. Might as well make. It's like when you go to Dunkin' Donuts at the end of the night and they're throwing out all the donuts that nobody ate. Just give them here. Give them. Sell them yourself. Do whatever you want. It's kind of the same fucking thing, but it's better.
It's also. I'm starting to read ahead, but the man offered $1,200. I'm beginning to think, she only made $11,000. That's 10% of her revenue right there. She didn't do this very much.
Right. Right. It's not the end of the world.
At those, numbers here. Granted, that's like 2 brains. That's at least 2 dead people.
Sure.
And a heart. Could be from one of those people. Could be 3 dead people.
That's not bad. $1,200 for 3 dead people. I mean, did those? I wonder if those dead people even had $1,200 to their name when they died.
And then did she only do this 10 times?
Because that's not the end of the world. 10 times you
Did it
sell.
say how many?
Over the course of 9 months, Scott proceeded to ship the man, this is one person, an ear, an arm, lungs, livers, kidneys, hands, breasts, penises,
One customer.
fetuses.
All one customer?
I guess it is. Fetuses,
He's the bad one, right?
skin, skulls, and one whole human head. In exchange, he paid over $10,975 in 16 separate PayPal transfers each time Scott returned the rest of the remains cremated to the school. So the indictment does not name the buyer, but yeah, you wouldn't want to defame the person who bought these things. But separate state charges connect the case to Pennsylvania resident Jeremy Lee Pauley, another one with 3 fucking names.
Yeah, we were onto something early on in this article.
You mean to tell me a 40-year-old that lives in Pennsylvania alone doesn't have the right to go ahead and buy some body parts?
3 first names at that, too.
What the fuck was he doing? Pauley was charged by a Cumberland County criminal court with 4 counts of receiving stolen property. Stolen property. I love that they call it that. Intending to participate in unlawful activity and abusing a corpse. Police were tipped off to Pauley's purchases in June 2022, according to a press release announcing his arrest. And human organs and human skin resting in 3 5-gallon buckets in Pauley's basement. I mean, those buckets, they are great, right? I mean, they don't sell them at Home Depot for no reason. You got to have a few buckets
They're in
lying
every
around.
aisle.
Right, you got to have them around for something. And if you're going to be the guy who's keeping body parts in his garage, buying them from a woman in Arkansas, who's just trying to make her way to the Taylor Swift concert. I mean, we should really be blaming Ticketmaster for this. This goes all the way back to Ticketmaster, Taylor Swift exploiting her fan base and dragging them to things like this. There's a woman, there's a place in Missouri. If you could go to that first article. There's a small town in Missouri where a lot of people are going to see. It's called, I think, Gower, Missouri, and there's this old woman, well, dead woman, I should say, not old. She's a nun. I always think of a nun as an old woman, alive, dead. Really doesn't matter to me. It's an old woman, and her corpse isn't decaying. She was buried without embalming, which is interesting because they had to was she buried? Because now they have her on like a bed and people are going to see her. We'll see that in a second. But because in my mind it was someone trying to rob her grave and they're like, wait a second, this bitch might still be alive. She might just be.
It says exhumed. It doesn't say why.
After she exhumed.
She was exhumed.
Discovered. Oh, okay. They think so. Everyone thinks it's a holy sign. Everybody's going to go. And they're actually giving people some of the dirt from her grave. Now, if Jesus wasn't involved in this, if the thought of like God or a church or anything or holiness wasn't involved in this, then and you heard that a bunch of people all over the country were traveling to some small place to go see a dead lady and then scoop up some of her dirt that she was laying in for 4 years. I think she was buried in 2019 for 4 years. Dead person's dirt. You'd hear that story and you'd be like, my God, these people are terrible. This is ancient times all over again. We haven't evolved at all. This is awful. What are we doing? But because there's a massive backing behind this, people are like, a massive religious backing. People are like, well, we got to get down there. These are the people who vote, guys. I mean, there's two old. This picture right here. There's two old ladies kneeling, in sneakers, scooping up dirt. I don't know how much more deranged it gets. I mean, what are you gonna go do after that? Pick out a hair and fucking tie it around your necklace? I mean, please. What's the sign say? Please take no more than a
Teaspoon
of dirt. Well, I mean, they're going to go home and rub it all over themselves. They're going to rub their pussies with that. I mean, it's going to be, they need a little bit more. You can't just expect that.
By the looks of them, they look dry enough.
Right. Oh, God.
Got that dot.
She's
dirty
gonna,
ass.
yeah, she's going to ask her husband to rub some dead lady's dirt on her. A nun whose body has barely decayed since her death has unintentionally attracted hundreds to the site of burial in a small U.S. town. People from all over the U.S. travel to Gower, Missouri to witness the body of Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster, unexpectedly found intact after being exhumed, nobody knows why, in April by nuns of the Benedictines of Mary, Queen of Apostles Order. I mean, are we more... Is there a place that's more addicted to spectacle than we are? Look at the line. Scroll down just a little bit more. Look at the line of people going to see a dead lady. And, like, none of these...
2,000 people.
2,000 people flock to this small... They haven't seen 2,000 people since the last, race riots or something. Where is this? Missouri? I don't know if they're super into the race stuff. Maybe they are. But nonetheless, there's a bunch of people going over... and none of them look to be, like, when I think of a biblical demonstration, I think of people, like, regal. They're dressed in robes or they're dressed in their Sunday best. Even people when they go to church. When I was growing up, you didn't wear jeans to church. You didn't wear shorts to church. You had to dress nice. You had to do it. And these people are seeing, apparently, according to them, a complete miracle that their God is putting on, and they're wearing cargo shorts and sunglasses. I don't know.
Honestly, I think sitting here, I'm a believer. I want to go see her.
Yeah, right. But what do you think's doing it? Like,
it's unexplainable. It's got to be.
It's got to be
a miracle,
God.
right?
It's got to be God. It has to be. A visitor from Kansas City, Missouri, Samuel Dawson, visited the site and described it as very peaceful and very reverent. Yeah, it's like a wake. You never hear a wake as described as anything other than that, I guess. I mean, as peaceful as looking at a dead person and standing in line like an amusement park ride, like you're at Disneyland to go see a dead lady. Mr. Dawson, who is Catholic, said the nuns let visitors. Oh, this is nice. Let the visitors touch Sister Lancaster because they wanted to make her accessible to the public because in real life she was always accessible to people. The phenomenon has been described as a Catholic sign of holiness by some through scientific explanations of the lack of decay have been offered too. Though scientific explanations, whatever. So there might be some other explanations. It could be, but why would it be a sign of holiness to keep somebody here? Like, wouldn't it be better if the body did decay and just, I guess, gave back to the earth? In that way, in a holistic way, maybe not so much in such a. I mean, are they charging people for this? I feel like they got to be charging people.
Knowing the Catholic Church, they are.
Totally. I mean, they don't pay taxes already, and now they're getting. I mean, look at these people. Look at this picture. People are touching this lady. That's insane. She's been buried for 4 years, and I get it. She looks like she's just asleep, but she's dead as a motherfucker. And these people are. I mean, this lady's got beads on, rubbing her knees. That's insane. Why would God be like, let's keep her here just a little longer?
This guy goes right for the foot.
Yeah, that's Quentin Tarantino right there with the foot fetish. The Diocese of Kansas City, St. Joseph said, the condition of the remains of Sister Wilhelmina Lancaster has understandably generated widespread interests and raised important questions. At the same time, it is important to protect the integrity of the moral remains to allow for a thorough investigation. So now she's got to be investigated for what? Like the cartel is keeping her. She's got kilos in her. Look at the kids. They got kids. Imagine your mom is just like, all right, well, we traveled 3,000 miles for this. We came all the way from Louisiana. Get over there, get on your knees, and praise God. Put your hands on that dead woman. Go. What a morbid fucking... I mean, everything is morbid. This whole thing is insane. I mean, we started off with a euthanasia journey, and now this is like the whole culture is just getting ready for death. Just get a little more comfortable with death. The case for sainthood due to the body's incorruptibility, a belief of staving off decomposition as a sign of holiness, had not been initiated yet. Added that. What do you mean? So the case for sainthood. So they're gonna try to make her a saint, just because okay. This was confirmed by the Benedictines, who said Sister Lancaster had not yet reached the required minimum of of 5 years since death for the sainthood process to begin.
Oh, you have to die to become a saint?
I guess so. Yeah, you have to be dead of 5 years to become. So there's. I like
it's
that.
Like the Hall of Fame. Yeah,
right.
You have to be voted in.
I guess you do, but who votes? I mean, God's not up there keeping tallies. The nuns just sit around and they're like, let's make her a saint. So when she gets up there, the Lord will know.
And then if they're not voting for her, they're just like down there talking shit about her.
Yeah. They're like, nah, she didn't do enough. Look at her body. It's not even decayed. That's insane. Meanwhile, Rebecca George, an anthropology tutor at the Western Carolina University, said the body's lack of decomposition might not be that rare. She said that coffins and clothing help to preserve bodies. She added, typically, when we bury people, we don't exhume them. We don't get to look at them a couple years out. With 100 years, there might be nothing left, but when you've got just a few years out, this is not expected. The monastery is to place the corpse in a glass shrine in the church where visitors will still be able to see it and collect dirt from her grave, but not touch her for the price of everything you have in your wallet. So I've seen, I guess, a similar story to this. There was a monk that was supposedly reached the state of nirvana. It's almost like these religious types. There's like a pattern of mumbo jumbo somewhere down the line, but they did show this guy, and he was like sitting in like a lotus position, and he hadn't decomposed for, I feel like, much longer than this woman. Which means, I guess, their God cares more.
Apparently.
Yeah, like this lady, it's only been a few years for her. I forget this guy's name, but people would go up and see him. I guess it's like a thing.
I also just don't know how fastly people decay.
Right.
So, like, at first I was like, is that special? Or
according to
I mean, she looked very not dead.
Right. I mean, her legs looked feeble. She looked as good as a dead nun can look 4 years after.
Yeah, I mean, she looked like she was just died.
Right. Which
she actually looks better than some people who I've seen who just died.
Right. She looks better than some people who might be walking around still, actually. Some of the nuns in that same monastery. So I don't know. I guess there is something there. There may be a scientific explanation. According to this woman, it's not that different. I mean, it is just a few years. It's only been 4 years underground. It's not like that'll do too much to you when you're already checked out. I don't know. Oh, Tory Lanez, our old friend, old Tory. Short man syndrome. This man's Napoleon. He's our modern day. Tory Lanez is our modern day Napoleon. Napoleon, one of the greatest generals to have ever existed, almost conquered the world, but was short and Italian. Oddly enough, people think he's French. He was Italian. Short and angry. He's holding it up. But anyway, Tory Lanez, modern day Napoleon. He, instead of conquering the world, shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot, and is now convicted and going to jail for 10 years, which is kind of a lot. I mean, let's be honest, right?
I couldn't name one Tory Lanez song.
Well, there's that song, you know the one. I don't know any songs with just him. I know the song with Meek Mill, right? Liddy Again. That's a fun one. What's the other one? I ain't been broke in a minute. That one's fun. With Conor McGregor at the beginning. Tory Lanez. Yeah. He's got short man syndrome, guys. You can't lock somebody up for having short man syndrome. Megan Thee Stallion is a big woman. She's tall. She probably...
Jerry Sprunger?
That's fire. How are we going to live without Jerry Sprunger? I mean, we won't play it for you guys, but we're going to listen here. Jerry Sprunger. R.I.P. Jerry Springer as well, if we're... Okay. Lame. Tory Lames, maybe. But hey, guys, I mean, I think this is a classic case. You remember when Gary Coleman used to get beat up by his wife? He used to get beat up by his wife. He was a small man. She could take advantage of him, throw him around, you know. He was a little person. Now, this is the same case. Megan Thee Stallion is a big bitch. And he shot her in the foot. You ever watch Harlem Nights? You remember when, I forget who does it. Somebody shoots homegirl in the foot. Eddie Murphy shoots, what's her name? The woman in that. Have you seen Harlem Nights?
No.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But the woman in it is super famous, and I'm forgetting her goddamn name.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, let's find out what her name is, because she got shot in the foot, and there's a famous line where she goes, "You shot my pinky toe," and I can only imagine Megan Thee Stallion kind of saying something similar, but with a different accent, right? Just that Houston. Let's see, Della Reese, right there, Della Reese. That's a great name. She was in That's So Raven as well in a couple episodes. I've never seen a picture of her young. She's one of those people who you just assume they've been old forever. Kind of like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, like Betty White.
Betty White, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's great. We got a young picture of her. But she got shot in the foot, and I can only imagine... When I heard this story, I immediately thought of Harlem Nights when Eddie Murphy shot her in the foot. And it was a very funny scene. I would think if I was walking down the street and I saw a short man, doesn't have to be Tory Lanez, a short man getting in an argument with a woman that is much more physically imposing than he is, and shooting her in the foot. I would imagine that being kind of funny. Kind of funny, right? If you're walking by a small guy. Remember the video? Women on dating sites. I'm 5 foot. You remember that?
That was Bagel Boss guy.
Bagel Boss, yeah.
That was in Long Island.
I should be dead. That's what women.
All right.
Yeah, that's what women say on dating sites. Like if that guy pulled out a gun and shot that girl in the foot, that would have
trying
been.
to get that guy to fight like a celebrity boxing match.
Really?
Yeah, he actually went to law MMA and was training with like Al Joe and
Wow.
and all them.
Holy shit! Well, he went after it. That's the gym you want to go to if you're gonna fight somebody. It's gonna be hard finding an opponent for him. The flyweights are kind of small. The flyweights are small. That's probably what he'd fight at. But if that guy pulled out a gun in that bagel shop, it would have been, and banged that girl in the foot, that would have added to the video, I think. But he's not as famous, right? People barely care about him. people care about Tory Lanez in some sense, and they care about Megan Thee Stallion. So this was a big thing for a while. I think this article is a little old. I think he got this happened maybe last week. But I want to read this quote from, scroll down a little bit. Oh,
Get the date for you.
August 8th.
From yesterday.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Not bad. See, we're fucking... We're not going too old on this shit. Where was the quote? Oh, okay. Over the past 3 years, Lanez has engaged in a pattern of conduct that was intended... Oh, no.
What'd I do?
I don't know. We lost it. Oh, it popped out a second. There we go.
Where's the article? You know?
It's all right. It happens. It's okay. We're just making fun of a serious situation like we always do. That's what this show's about.
Where is the article?
There we go. Over the past 3 years, Lanez has engaged in a pattern of conduct that was intended to intimidate Stallion, silence her, and keep her from defending and bringing her truth out. See? This is a clear case. Oops, I just cut my mic off. This is a clear case of...
We're banging on all cylinders over here.
Right. Of short man syndrome. He's trying to intimidate her. He's trying to scare her. He's like, you're not going to fuck with me. I don't care if I'm 5'2" and you're 6'3". You're not playing around with me. I bet he just wanted some chotch, guys. Let's be honest. We've all...
I'm 5'2" and I want to dance with you.
Yeah.
So, bop, 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 bop.
That's his new song.
Missy Elliott remix.
Oh, is that what it is?
Was it Missy Elliott? I'm
Probably.
5'2" and I want to dance with you.
Missy Elliott. We're big fans.
It's her, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. What's the one song that she's big for? You can work it, work it.
Down, flip it in
Yeah,
reverse
exactly.
You know that's actually that part in reverse?
Yeah.
I never knew that
Yeah.
until TikTok came around.
Right. There was a woman from Rhode Island that got really famous.
For going...
Yeah. For singing the whole thing. She was at Goddard Park in Wakefield, Rhode Island at some family reunion, and they gave her a microphone and she just started singing and she went viral. She ended up on Ellen. You know, that's a big thing for people in Rhode Island. But anyway, I think Tory Lanez was trying to get some pussy, all right? We have all done wild things for the Poonan, all right? We've all shot a girl in the foot so that she would hopefully one day sleep with us, or drag us into a legal battle that'll send us to jail for 10 years. And deported, right? He was deported to, because he's from Canada.
Canada.
So, yeah, they sent his ass back to that liberal hellhole known as Canada. So, despite the physical violence, verbal attacks, and attempts at public humiliation, Stallion remained strong and shared the events of that fateful night with the jury and the world. Now, there's something from what Tory Lanez lawyer had said, and I think he was saying that 10 years was far too much, and he wanted to they're going to probably try to appeal it and get the sentence shorter, because what happens when you're famous apparently is you get an example made out of you. And that's apparently what's happening to Tory Lanez. They think that that's just 10 years for shooting a woman in the foot. That's kind of a lot. I don't know what the legal system in Canada is. I'm sure Megan Thee Stallion is upset. I'm sure she has enough money to get a new toe or whatever the fuck happened to her. But they're kind of treating him bad. That's too long. I agree with them. Fuck it. I agree with Tory Lanez, and this isn't me hating on...
what were the actual charges again? Was it for, was the gun legal, or I don't even really know the situation?
Yeah, it could be a couple different things now that you say it. That's a good point to bring up. Maybe the gun was illegal. Maybe he had, drugs or something involved. I don't know. Nonetheless, shooting someone in the foot is kind of harmless. It's like a fender bender, the way I look at it, It just so happens that they're both famous, right? If somebody shot someone else in the foot in the street somewhere, I don't think they'd get 10 years. I don't think they'd get 10 years, even if there was a bunch of other things stacked on. Hey, maybe when he was in Canada and he was running amok, maybe when he was young, some of those things came back to bite him in the ass. Either way, it's an interesting situation. We're very happy for Megan coming out on top here. She's going to keep writing songs about her illustrious pussy and ass, and that's what I want to hear.
Going, "Blah."
Yeah, exactly.
That's her thing.
Yeah. So, fuck the Pope, first and foremost. Before Christmas, make sure you fuck the Pope, number one. Speaking of the Pope and fucking, he's probably our first guest for the Epstein list. Supposedly, the Epstein list is coming out next year, and boy, that's exciting. I like how they're telling us now, and it's like it's a build-up. There's like a perverse build-up for everybody that's like, I want to know who got on these flights and banged kids on some island. There's something that we want to... It's like looking at a yearbook. Looking at an old yearbook. We're going to a...
Who do we go? CNN? CBS? BBC? Who do we
Let's go
look?
BBC. BBC is
BBC.
always good because it's from another place.
And it's big black cock.
That's right. There was plenty of that on that island, I'll tell you that.
You think so?
Yeah. Why not?
WC.
A lot of WC. More WC.
Little WCs, too.
Yeah, sure. That's true. What was it? More than 170.
170.
God damn. Epstein Associates. So this is supposed to come out next year, early next year. The hottest new movie coming to you, Epstein's Flight List. Epstein's Flight List. Who do you think's going to be on it? Tune in. Prince Andrew is expected to be among them. Wow, they're just laying it right out. His death is awaited, suicide. Yeah, I mean, 40 documents of evidence. This is gonna be bananas when it drops.
Do you remember when all those celebrities got their their iCloud hacked and there was the fappening?
No, the fappening.
You don't remember that?
I don't.
It was
However,
like,
I think your laptop's
yeah,
gonna
I'm about
die.
to plug it in. All of Hollywood got their iClouds hacked and all their nudes were posted on this one blog called The Fappening.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know about this. And it was just a bunch of naked ladies.
It was like
Naked
A-listers.
everybody.
It was
Everybody.
like Jennifer Lawrence. and,
Really?
like, big A-listers.
And you can still get them?
Yeah, you can still get them.
Nice. That's great. I remember as a kid thinking you could just do porn, like fantasy porn, like fantasy football, but with pornos. Like I would, and in those days I was only watching lesbian porn because I was afraid of big cocks. I didn't want to see big swinging cocks and balls and man ass. I didn't want to watch any of that as a kid. As an adult, you grow as a man. You're like, now I'm old enough. I'm old enough. I can take watching big hard cocks. But when I was a kid, I would think up like my best matchups, right? My best matchups for ladies to do the deed with each other. Like I would think the mom from George Lopez. She was hot. You remember? I mean, you're doing something, but you guys remember George Lopez, the mom from that show. What was her name? Constance Marie. She was banging. She might still be banging. Those women, those famous women, they drink the blood of kittens or something. They find a way. They find a way to keep it going. So she's. We might have to move. I might have to move to the side, to the left a little bit. We're figuring this out on the spot, people. But yeah, I would want like Constance Marie and like Anne Hathaway to fucking trib. I would sit there and I'd be like, you know, it would be super hot if the lady from the remake to Get Smart fucking fucking would scissor the mom from George Lopez.
There's 2 outlets. Right?
Yeah, there is. Hold on, let's pause this.
My bad.
All right, we're back. No worries. Laptop almost died on us. So anyway, I was telling you about Anne Hathaway. I want to see her and someone else. Let's not go with Constance Marie. Who else in those days was I all about? Oh, Tisha Campbell. I always fucked with Tisha Campbell in those days as a young man. She used to be on Married with not the one with Al Bundy, the other one with the Wayans, bro. Oh no, she was Martin's wife on Martin Lawrence's wife on Martin.
Was it called Martin or was it called Lawrence?
It was called Martin. I
called
think.
Martin.
Yeah. She was hot. So her and Anne Hathaway, in a steam room.
Here's Constance.
That's her now, huh? She still looks good.
She can still scissor with Anne
With
Hathaway in
anybody.
your dreams.
Yeah. She could do it for sure. Anne Hathaway even more so now. She's in some movie where she's like completely naked.
But this is the fappening.
The Fappening, the 2014 celebrity nude photo leak. Yeah, so this is probably a similar thing, where if you found out about that ahead of time, you'd be like, oh, let's think about it. Who do you think's nudes are going to drop? I remember as a kid, Vanessa Hudgens was a big one. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because she was like Disney, High School Musical, fucking... She switched up big time. She's a little bit of a lunatic now. Not crazy. Not Demi Lovato style.
Who doesn't like a good leak?
You gotta have a good leak. WikiLeaks, the whole thing. You need all that. If you don't have that, how do we find out about things? How do we find out about that? But what I want to know, so this is just who has these names? Like who has this list? Is it just in custody of the fucking court or whatever? Probably, I would assume so.
Yeah.
Because it's just some guy. What if it was like Martin Shkreli? You remember Martin Shkreli? He bought the Wu-Tang album, and it hadn't released yet, and he bought the rights to it, and he wouldn't let Wu-Tang release it.
So he just never released it, or he did release it?
I think he ended up releasing it, but he didn't. Like Wu-Tang got nothing from it. He also bought a lot of AIDS pills that cost like $8 a piece, and sold them for like $300 a piece. Like legally, like to pharmaceutical companies and shit. So he's a real piece of shit. But if he had a hold of this thing, he'd probably he'd charge some money. You know, this is a hell of a list. U.S. congressional Republicans are pushing to subpoena the flight logs for Epstein's private plane. Whoa. Some of the names on the list will remain sealed, including those belonging to child victims, the judge said in her ruling. Oh.
So hopefully they just put out the celebrities, and then no one else has to like get any more.
So they're going to keep the
trauma from this situation.
Right. So we're not even going to... That's bullshit then.
No. I think we'll get the gritty details. I think they're trying to protect the victims.
Right. But from what I got from that is that, well, I got two things. Obviously, the Republicans are scared. The Republicans don't want this to come out, right? They want to subpoena it.
Doesn't subpoena mean like they're suing for it? Like they're trying to gain access to it?
Yeah. I think even if that's what it means, I think that still shows that they're nervous. You know, like if they want access to it, then maybe they want to get some more names scratched off that. Plus, it said the ones about children might not be shown, which is most of them, right?
Yeah, it said the victims.
The victims, okay. Right. Well, who wants to know about them anyway? They're not famous. We don't want to know about the ones getting fucked. They're only famous because it's like Kanye and Taylor Swift. I made that bitch famous. You know, if you're a kid who was on the Epstein Island and you come back and you have a tale to talk about it and you're like, Bill Clinton fucked me in my ass, and Stephen Hawking fucked me in my ass. He went there too. He, the only reason you know,
He did the least damage.
Yeah, right. The only reason anybody knows about you. The only reason you have those stories is because famous people went there, and yeah, it's I don't know. It's interesting. It's
So
obviously
we wanted to have a draft. So who do you think was on it?
I still think I'm going with the Pope. I think one of the popes. Let's say one of the popes.
One pope.
I don't know. However long he's been doing it, I feel like at least one of the popes heard about this and was like, we gotta
get there.
Yeah, let's spread
It's heaven on earth.
Let's spread Christianity. Let's do this. What about you? Who do you think?
I think one of my first that come to mind that it's in his comments everywhere, like any post he posts, and anytime he gets any sort of criticism anytime, pretty much, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay, Jimmy Kimmel. I could see that one happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's creepy.
He does have a creepy, plasticky, mask-like face. Jimmy Kimmel. I could see Jimmy Kimmel doing it. Who do we think the first woman on that list will be? Aside from the one, like, obviously Hillary Clinton was there. We know that, though. These are ones that maybe we don't know. The first woman?
Condoleezza Rice.
Okay. She could probably get down with that. I could see Condoleezza Rice hanging out on an island.
And maybe Ellen.
With a rich Jew.
Just coming after talk show hosts today.
Ellen. Yeah, every woman on The View definitely went.
Whoopi for sure.
Whoopi Goldberg would have a blast on Epstein's Island. She's just on a jet ski with her hair bouncing. I fucking hate Jewish people. Koosh, koosh, koosh. And Epstein's like, this is this is what you're here for. We're here to get dirt on you. Obviously, Trump was there. Trump doesn't seem like a kid fucker, though.
He was definitely there, though, right? That was proven?
I mean, I don't know if it was proven, but they were definitely boys. They just... Yeah. I feel like Epstein, back in the day, before he had this crazy Doofenshmirtz-style harebrained scheme to compromise high-level people, he seemed to just be a businessman. I think that's what the deal was back in the day.
He was a lawyer, right?
Yeah, probably something along those lines. Lawyer. People...
This says
Of
Kevin
course.
Spacey.
Chris Tucker. Oh, no. Not Smokey. You just fucked a kid, man. You just got fucked in your ass, man. That's insane. Clinton, Spacey, Tucker.
Spent a week in Nigeria with him.
Oh, the AIDS. They were there to bring awareness to AIDS. That's what they were doing. Okay. I believe that. Sure. Why else would you be in those places? I suppose. Who's this guy now?
Some former secretary of Epstein, part of his legal team.
Prostitution. Wow. And that was in 2007, and he still kept running amok. Film publicist Peggy Siegel planned a star-studded dinner for Epstein and Prince Andrew. Wow. So they all had dinner. That must have been nice. I mean, at least it must have been nice, you know.
Oh, Saudi princes for sure were there.
Oh, that's a good. We forget about them. They're going to be ruling the world someday. The Saudi. Wow, Elon. Sure, why not? He doesn't seem like a kid fucker either.
No.
You know, he might have just been there for the for the views, you know, for the Instagram.
He might have needed some cash too to, fly rockets or something.
Sure. That's right. And Epstein was like, "Well, I got this fun place. It's got a bowling alley. You like bowling?"
Bill Gates is probably like a first-round draft pick, though, right?
Yeah, we forgot about him. Bill Gates, for sure. He's
These aren't proven yet either. These are
speculation.
Yeah, these are speculation.
Okay. The LinkedIn co-founder. Anybody involved in LinkedIn is
Creepy.
LinkedIn is a weird.
See, these aren't spicy enough for me.
No, these aren't good. I don't know any of these people.
I like when we were just spitballing.
Right. Who else? Who else could be there? Taylor Swift? You think Taylor Swift? You think the Eras tour went to the Epstein Island at some point?
If she was there, she was probably getting diddled, right?
Yeah, maybe
She wasn't doing diddling.
she was probably there early on.
She would make a song about it, though, I feel like.
Early
if
on
she
in her
was
career.
there.
Yeah, she talks about how the diddler wouldn't dance with her at the ball.
Mm-hmm.
She would talk about how he would always pick the movie. One time I was talking to a girl and I'm like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing, just scrolling on TikTok." And the fact that can be considered bless you, that could be considered an activity of any sort, of anything worth mentioning. If you mention to somebody, "Oh yeah, I'm just scrolling on TikTok," just say nothing. Just say you're doing nothing. Just say, just say you're sitting around doing nothing at all. It's you might as well. That's one that I don't know. I missed. I don't know what the next one's going to be. The next social media. The next social media is just going to be people uploading brainwaves.
Maybe it'll be something on like the Apple. What are those new goggles?
Oh yeah, I forget what they're called. The Apple Sight or Apple Vision.
Apple Vision.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Like you and I will just go like someplace in a virtual reality world and just hang out.
Yeah.
Instead of actually ever seeing one another.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be.
Well, that'll be good. That'll be good because once that happens, the outside world will be in horrible condition. We'll all want to stay inside anyway.
Like, have you seen like those crazy augmented like virtual reality floors now?
No. What are they doing?
Let me find a video of it.
Yeah. Everything needs to be altered now. Even floors. We've had floors for centuries. And now we're like, we can make really cool floors. Have you seen the
Well, it's like a real floor that you can walk on without actually moving. So like say it was the size of that area rug over there.
Mm-hmm.
You could be like running, playing like virtual reality Call of Duty or something, like at a full sprint in your middle of your apartment.
Okay.
And you won't be like covering any actual ground because it's almost like a
treadmill. Does it move with you?
A treadmill that reacts to all your steps because you could walk whatever way.
Oh, nice. That'll be good. That'll be good when you get lost in the woods somewhere. You can retrace your steps. Virtual reality floor. That's just something that sounds hilarious to me. This is virtual reality real estate. I mean, you can buy advertising in the metaverse right now.
Yeah,
which is crazy. I feel like this is one of those times where we should be jumping on that. Like we like when the internet came out, everyone's like, "No, this is bullshit," and then people became billionaires or whatever off the internet, or people started doing
that's not it.
Whatever. Yeah, that's definitely
maybe this is it. Yeah,
that looks like
it's
an autistic guy.
This is it.
Oh, okay. So you can just. Oh, yeah. So it is like a treadmill thing, and you can run on it.
But they make big ones. Like they make ones that are
the
size of an entire room. So we can all go to a place, put on headsets, and be like at the Great Wall of China or something else. But really we're just in fucking,
Brooklyn,
Bedford Stuyvesant.
Yeah. Huh. That's gonna be way better. People are gonna fucking love that. That's pretty fucking sick. I mean, I've never really used the virtual reality stuff, but how are you going to compare real life to that? You get to go anywhere. You can get chased by dinosaurs. You can go to an imaginary world full of.
There's a lot of like practical uses for it too, like the Apple Vision. Like say you're in your kitchen and you're following a recipe, you could have that recipe up like on like a fake screen to your side as you're cooking at your stove and still see the stove and be safe and everything.
Right.
And have screens and stuff like
Yeah.
Or like YouTube tutorials showing you how to fry or flambe or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that'll change mass shootings because now you could put those on
and get bullied from multiple screens.
Well, you can
and then shoot up your school.
you can have like a tutorial, like you're saying. You could have a recipe of how to do a good school shooting off to the side while you're actually, and you could make it fun. You could make it like like the students you're hunting or something. Remember the old Cabela games?
Yeah.
You could do that. So you're like in the woods.
Or like the James Bond games where you do the cheat codes and they have the big heads.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, that could be fun. See, this is the future. This is the future. That'll be good. Yeah. Yeah, for organization, the next Capitol riot, everyone will have those on. And they're just like, "What do you mean? We're going on a jog. we're just jogging." They get the schematics for a building. on the side of the fucking thing. Anybody that's a true leader cares objectively about who they're leading and what they're leading. They don't give a fuck about what this side's saying, what that side. It is an objective view of what's going on. It is not a talent pageant, a beauty pageant to them, to real leaders. And I want to backtrack and take back that the real leaders are on Instagram, because if you see some of these people, they would be better off. It would be better off if they just had a wall that they could say these things to. It would be better off if someone locked them away and stared and let them stare at a wall and say all these things, right? Like there's people on Instagram who think that they have the key. They have the key. Listen, you got to get up. You got to wake up really early. Wake up real early. Why is that? Why has that been the benchmark of success as time goes on? Why has that been the thing? Waking up really early. If you wake up really early, you're getting the edge. What edge? What edge do you need? You sell Toyotas. You need an edge? What do you mean an edge? All these fucking career speakers, all these career salesmen that have the trick. They go and they talk and they walk back and forth. Listen, man, you're not operating at a clip that I am. I sleep 3 hours a fucking night. I wake up at 2:30 every day. I get in the cold plunge for 45 minutes. I sit there. I envision all the people's necks that I'm going to stomp on today to make things happen. I envision all the bullshit that I'm going to shove down these easily impressionable young men's throats that come to see me because I am a guru. I seem to have the answer. I am a guy that can walk back and forth on a stage. I have big, strong arms, and I have money, so I must have answers. I must have a way to live this life. Those are the people that are on, some of them, I mean, I guess, some of them are okay. Let's say that. Some of them are okay. The ones that I really like are the ones that have done serious shit. Serious shit. I don't want advice from a guy. I don't want advice from a salesman, okay? I don't care how much money you made. I really don't. I don't want advice from a salesman. I want advice from a guy like Jocko Willink. I want leadership advice from a guy like that. And even him, he wakes up early and does the whole thing, but I'll listen to it from him. I'm not going to do it. Believe me, I'm not going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And if you do that, congratulations. You're a bigger and better person, I suppose. But I would, there's no part of me that is going to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Normally, if there's something exciting going on, like a riot, or, if we're all gonna flash mob in a Macy's and steal things at 4:30 in the morning, sure. Yeah. That sounds okay. But for waking up at 4, go fuck yourself. It takes a lot more effort to stay up until 4, right? To stay up, bendering all night until 4 in the morning. That's true discipline. Well, I know in Hawaii, they also have a lot of boars. So they do a lot of like boar hunting and fucking island pig roasts and shit.
They probably do. I don't know that.
Yeah.
There's peacocks randomly.
Peacocks?
Yeah.
Wow.
and mongoose. Mongooses.
I think mongoose.
They're long rats.
Mongoose sounds right for plural.
Yeah. But who knows? Can we find that?
Yeah.
Mongoose plural?
It kind of just looks like it looks like a rat that's like running through a panoramic photo.
Oh, so it's like long.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were used to the
You could
ones
hold
here.
it and then you could. We didn't do that
jerked
with
it
it.
off?
They were hard to.
That's what that looked like.
Do you know those like? Wait, no. Okay, these are so short.
Is that a mongoose?
Can you look him up running?
A running mongoose.
One of my friends was trying to domesticate one of these.
Oof. That's horrifying. Whoa.
What are you using Google for this?
No. Why are they showing us like a kitchen? Not a kitchen, a bathroom.
I think it's like a website.
Oh, this is Reddit? Are you on Reddit right now?
No, it's Google.
What do we? It's not Google. What
That's
do we-
not Google.
It is. That's my browser's Brave.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Got you. All right.
You have such a fun browser, dude.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna look up the black market later. This is intense.
That's a lot of what we do. Before we had guests, there was a lot of black. I love how they had a bike, the mongoose bike.
I had a mongoose back in the day.
Oh man, you gotta have a mongoose as a kid. That's the
I
best.
hope I'm saying the right animal.
You put the
This one's
Can we
just-
look up if there's?
Can you just
I'm gonna
look up
look up if they're
long
native.
rat?
I'm gonna look up if they're native to Hawaii.
Yeah.
There's no hamsters in Hawaii. Like
There's-
they're illegal in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah.
There's places where they got hamsters. Like, there's wild hamsters. I always.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
used to
I
have
guess-
38. Not wild, but hamsters.
Yeah.
And I set them out into the wild.
Wait,
I set them out at the local elementary school.
You set out. What did you say you did? You just had a bunch of
Dude.
hamsters.
Yeah, I lived across the. Oh my god, I feel so bad if
No,
this
let's
is
hear
gonna
it.
come out as something terrible. But when I was a kid, I had 38 hamsters, and I lived across the street from an elementary school. And when we moved,
Crazy cat lady.
when we,
Crazy hamster
my
girl.
parents kept allowing it. And plus, if you get a couple, they start fucking each other, and then they have more. So I took care of a lot of hamster babies. But when we moved, we couldn't bring them in because we were going to go to an apartment. So my parents and I would let them out at the local elementary
Oh
school
my
across the
God.
street. And then big birds would come.
Oh, totally.
And it was really bad for the school
Oh my god.
because the children.
The kids are like, whoa. Just
It was on
hamsters
the
getting.
news.
Really? Oh my.
Big birds coming into this elementary school because of because of like an
Just
infestation of
hamsters.
hamsters. Yeah.
God damn. You probably threw them for a loop.
Yeah, so
These hamsters
the
coming.
colonials actually brought mongooses to Hawaii
Oh, that's how
in
it always
hopes to
goes.
kill the rat population.
And maybe it worked.
Yeah, I
They
think it
also did
work,
that with
but-
snakes, I think. And then there's too many snakes there now.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of that. I mean, the Native Americans used to eat. They preferred to eat dogs. Like they had dogs,
Bunch of
like
bitches.
wild dogs, and they would eat those instead. Also, same thing with horses. Like when colonial people came here and brought horses, they would actually eat the horses, and the white
Really?
people were like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? We're supposed to get around on these things." And then later on, the natives were like, "We can ride these fucking things. It took us
they're
forever. We've
useful
been
for
eating
something.
them."
We've been eating them. Oh, that's what they're supposed to be used for.
Yeah.
Riding, not eating.
And nobody makes fun of natives for eating dogs. It's always, it's always the Asians that get.
Yeah, I know. Come on, dude. I also can't go up there and be like, Native Americans do it too,
Yeah.
So that's why we can. No, that's scary. I didn't think that was real, like the whole like Asians eating dogs thing. And then I went to real. It's not. Is it provincial? The province,
Province of.
like the Philippines.
Okay.
And it was very like country, like
So you went to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been. I know.
You. All of the Philippines is whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
We have cities, right?
Really? I didn't know. I thought you guys still were learning fire over there.
We haven't heard. What's that?
Yeah.
Fire, whatever that is.
Yeah.
No, but then it was like an hour into like back roads, and then someone was like, "We have dogs too,"
Yeah.
and it's so freaky.
Dogs. Did you eat it?
No. No. Like
Yeah.
they like offered it to us. They didn't tell us it was a dog.
Whoa.
And the thing is, we saw
You have it in
somebody
your hand?
capturing a dog like down the road.
Whoa.
And we're like, oh my God, that's next. That's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Holy shit. Do you think they're an invasive species over there?
What, Filipinos?
No, yeah, in the Philippines. We got to get the dogs are like, we got to get these people out of here.
We gotta save the dogs. Fuck the Filipinos.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I don't know.
He's
We
like a
need I think we
northeastern-
need an Italian president. I think that's my.
He's like a northeastern Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
He's done just about everything.
that
Italian
was.
president?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
was,
just all his
we need
cousins in the
somebody,
cabinet.
an unabashed like criminal. It's like, yeah, I color outside the lines. What's it do you?
Yeah, fuck. I mean, Trump is pretty close to that.
Right. He's like culturally Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. He's invited to the Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
I guess.
He gets a bowl of Sunday gravy.
Yeah. It's the you're invited to the cookout or you're invited to the Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
black people and Italians are pretty similar.
There was another story that I remember. I was a journalist in college. That's like how I started writing, and I remember I did like a news blog, and I would cover like dumb stories in the news. And there was one I saw. There was a mayor. I think he was in Boston, maybe, or it was a suburb of Massachusetts, and he got impeached on like corruption charges. Ran again the next term, won. And then got arrested for taking bribes from local dispensaries.
Nice.
Because like it was when marijuana was getting legalized in Massachusetts, so there
Okay.
was like a whole system of like you had to get approved to get a license. So he was taking bribes in weed from dispensaries to get the license, and he was like,
It's not even money.
they got him on like he had like a pound of weed, a Rolex, like all. They raided his house and just it was like a rap music video.
Yeah.
and it was like he was like 27 years old or something. Damn. And it's like that's what happens. You let a 27-year-old guy like run a town.
Right.
He's gonna like
He's gotta-
trade favors for weed. Like
Oh,
that's
that's
what
fine.
all my friends would do.
Of course.
And I'm 27.
Yeah,
so
yeah. A 27-year-old running a town, that is what you're going to get.
That's insane. It's gonna be like a frat house.
But what is funny is you don't want somebody that's old as fuck, which is kind of what we like.
There's a median.
It's
yeah.
weird.
You don't want somebody who's like a year removed from like Sigma Chi
Yeah.
at Penn State University. You don't want that guy, but you also don't want an 85-year-old like geriatric whose
Yes.
brain is pudding. That's
Which
also not.
We have tons of those.
Yeah. That doesn't even narrow down who I'm talking about. That's how many. You're like, oh, that could be like 15 people actually.
Yeah, you're like, okay. That's every
Right.
high power official.
But that's
like
I don't know.
85.
I think in politics, it's like everyone like pays attention because like everyone obviously everyone's paying attention to politics. But every job you have too, there's a guy who should have quit 20 years ago. That
Yes.
they just can't get him out of there. It's in
Yeah.
everything. I used to work for a guy who was like 65, and he's like, dude, just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's with I say that all the time because like you watch, the president now. If Joe Biden was a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be like, all right, hang it up, Gramps. Like if you were
Yeah,
his
yeah.
grandson, you'd be like, you should probably,
Well, he's the teacher that's
Sit
getting
in the
like
office.
getting bullied by the kids. You know.
those were the best.
Yeah, they're like naked mole rat looking ass, and he's
Oh,
like, hey,
yeah.
hey, who said that? You know.
We used to have this teacher. His name was Mr. L in middle school, and he was a sub.
Oh yeah.
And he was just anytime you saw him, you're like, oh, we're just gonna fucking do nothing at all today.
Yeah, we're gonna ruin your fucking day.
And he was like an old Vietnam vet, but he was super old. He couldn't like see well. He couldn't hear well.
Right.
And we had one we had a kid in our class. His name was Rakim.
Yeah.
And every black person in that school was named Rakim to that guy.
Okay.
Why?
They all kind of blended together.
Girl, boy,
Yeah.
in between, and it was Rakim or Hakim.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much every time.
Okay. Yeah, that's he took a little shrapnel in the eye in
Yeah.
Vietnam, and they all
In the
kind of
war.
look the same to him. I don't know. We used to have a teacher. I won't say her name. It's crazy how comfortable you get.
Yeah.
Almost aired her out. But
Well, see, I hold no ties back, so I don't give a fuck. They can.
we bullied her not into quitting, but into getting fired.
Oh,
So many people bullied her so severely as a teacher that they fired her because like you can't control a classroom.
yeah.
Yeah, they're like kids don't respect you, so that's got to be tough.
That's brutal.
Because if you become a teacher, like a little part of you is like, I never got the respect I deserved,
I'm gonna
and
fuck
like
on
now
these
I'm
kids.
gonna now that I'm an adult, I'm gonna go in there and I'm
Yeah.
gonna show them who's fucking boss.
Nope.
And then first day they're just bullying you.
Yeah. That's what you get. Yeah, I had in high school. There were a few teachers that fucked some students.
Oh yeah, we had a few of
Legal
those.
ones.
Really?
Like they were 18, but just unprofessional. You know?
Yeah, we had a few buzzer beaters, a few,
Wow.
like
Yeah, right on the
17
way
and a
out.
half, where it's like, come on, man, you couldn't,
Yeah,
had to jump the gun on that one.
Yeah, there was one dude. He actually got fired from the school, but stayed with the girl.
Interesting. That's love.
Yeah, that is love.
That is true
And
love.
she was super hot, so all of us were like, hell yeah.
Lucky devil.
Speaking of kids, fucking, have you seen the Nickelodeon stuff?
I have, yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
No, because I don't think you need a documentary to know that Dan Schneider was a fucking pervert.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I wasn't like, what? The guy who trafficked exclusively in child's entertainment for
Yeah.
decades might be a little weird around kids. That's color me shocked. Somebody pointed out the Nickelodeon logo was a foot for a while.
At one point it was.
Yeah, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It was at one
It's
point.
not anymore.
Well, I think they just switched it to like an orange splat.
Yeah. Now it's just an orange outline of an NDA. That's
Yeah.
the logo.
Yeah. It's just Ariana Grande's 14-year-old puss
Yeah.
covered in the slime from the.
That's what the
Kids'
slime
Choice
was,
Awards.
actually. That's what the slime in Nickelodeon was.
Yeah.
I got slimed once.
You did?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about? Do you want to?
Yeah. I'll open up about
Do you
it.
want to tell your story?
Me too.
No, it was at like was it Universal Studios?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like a little performance, and then sometimes they pull a kid on stage and they just fucking dump slime on you.
Oh man, what did it smell like?
It smelled like rubber,
Okay.
and it was
Yeah,
very
kind of like
warm.
chlorine almost.
It was really warm,
Chloroform. Like.
and it stuck in my hair all day.
It's really salty and
Yeah. It's just Dan Schneider's cum.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Sort of walking that one.
Yeah, that's wild, dude. Drake Bell just getting
Yeah.
piped out.
Well, didn't he had accusations for a minute there, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And people are like trying to defend him, like, well, it didn't actually happen, but like, she was 12, and you were like, what? This is very Chris Hansen.
Yeah,
You
that's if that's like your if that comes up in the allegations, a sentence. Well, she was 12.
Yeah.
I don't think it's looking good for you.
Right.
That's
nothing
not the,
else you can say.
Yeah.
It's not like we were just talking on the phone.
That's weird too. Like that was the
Yeah.
Drake and Millie Bobby Brown of everyone's like, well, he was just like texting a 16-year-old. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's worse.
That's pretty bad.
To not be trying to fuck a kid, and just hanging out with a 16-year-old, you're even creepier.
Yeah. Just thinking
Yeah.
about it. Like, we can go to Pinkberry,
Yeah.
just doing 60. We can go to the mall.
Just like, what kind of boys do you think you're cute?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? My sisters are like, I have a sister who's 19. And like, I would never like hang out with her friends. That's the weirdest shit ever.
Yeah. It's a weird gap. I did when I was in Connecticut last year. I did I was hanging out with a 20-year-old.
You're like, I did fuck a 14.
I did fuck a 14-year-old. That's why I moved here to get away
might
from
be
it.
an inopportune time to bring it up, but
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are some allegations.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting on this. I'm like, wait, what? You're accused of what?
Dan-
I'm
yeah.
not on. I'm on this.
Yeah, I
Full
had to.
disclosure: I am involved in some legal action currently.
I had to flee New London because of the
Start the podcast with like a Megan's Law disclaimer. Now, just to let you know, I am legally required to tell you I am a registered sex offender. in the state of Connecticut.
Now that you're in this room, it's just a pre-roll to the show.
The door. You have one of those buttons like that guy from NBC that locks the door while people are still in it.
Yeah.
Who is that guy again? Oh fuck, Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer.
Matt Lauer. Yeah.
Was that the dude? He used to be on the Today Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wasn't the one that got in trouble, right?
Oh, he got in trouble.
He got in trouble.
in
Okay,
big
he was
trouble,
the
yeah.
bad
He had a
one.
rape button, a button that like you push it and it would lock the door while you're inside the room.
Wow.
And I've always wondered, what was the guy installing that button thinking?
Yeah.
He's
Well,
like,
in
what-
case somebody robs.
Yeah. It's like like a panic button in a bank,
Lock
but the
guy in there
panic
with
is that
you.
the woman might say no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. She might run for the window.
Yeah. It's like, can you bolt these windows down too? I know it's the third floor, but you could probably survive a fall from this height. you know?
It's just a couple busted ankles. She'll run off anyway.
Yeah.
The adrenaline. so
Circling back.
yeah. This is how we get comfortable. So,
You're editing this, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Producer.
Hashtag leave it in.
You're going to cut the part where I said I was a sex offender, right?
That'll be the clip, actually. I think.
Yeah, no, please. And I just shaved this mustache.
Yeah. Which is why stand-up is so fucking cool.
It's so cool.
Because there's so many different ways to do it.
There's this guy, there's this guy who falls onto the stage every single time, and he has I don't know if it's a character. I don't know.
He falls off the stage.
He has a tiny umbrella.
Yeah.
You know, Oddball Matt.
Oddball.
Name
Matt.
dropping.
Oddball
Matt.
Matt. I don't think so.
It's okay.
Should I pull him up? Free plug.
Free plug.
Oddball Matt.
I find this guy so interesting. He just falls on the stage.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for like less than a year, so maybe I'm just new, and this is like, oh, Alex, everybody falls on the stage.
Yeah.
But
Definitely not.
everyone just falls onto the stage. But when I first saw him do it, I was like, oh, I'm in a different world, right? I'm like, oh, you could literally do whatever the hell you want here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I saw a white, later, not the same guy, I saw a white guy say the N-word. And I was like, oh,
there you go.
you could
Louis C.K. used to do that.
whatever you want.
Just for the
here.
record, that's still not cool.
No, I never said it was cool. But he also had no immediate repercussions.
Well, let's see the rest of the body cam footage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You like that, right?
That's good.
That was good, right?
You're smooth.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, Louis C.K. had a bit where he would say the N-word. He's like, I hate white people that say the N-word. And I don't mean the N-word. No. And he's like, and I don't mean, and then he says it. And he's like, I hate when people say saying the N-word. He's like, just say it. Yeah. Basically,
Yo, it took me a second to figure out what you're.
Basically, it was, well, he says it, so it sounds
I've never
better.
heard this bit.
Yeah. It's
Is
it's
it like
pretty
hidden
wacky.
tapes or something?
No.
in the Diddy
It was in a
files?
big special.
Probably on Netflix.
It was in a big special.
Wow.
It was in like Madison Square
Wow,
Garden or something.
wow. I missed this? I just missed it. I actually like, I mean, I don't like the guy, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
if
we
I
don't
like the
know.
guy.
We don't
I don't
know.
know if I like any of these people.
That's what happens when I hear people talk about like famous people and having opinions on them, and it's fun to speculate, but we don't know who they actually are.
No. So, okay. This is interesting. Let me ask you a question. Let me guys ask you a question. If famous person's outside right now,
Yeah.
right? There's a famous person. Let's say, do you do comedy?
I don't know.
All right. So let's just use this guy for an example. All right. This guy.
Who, me?
Let's say
pretend
your
I'm
favorite
famous?
comedian's outside
Okay.
right now. Are you running?
To go to him?
Yeah.
My very favorite? Well, my very favorite's dead, so if he was outside,
You'd be like,
I'd be like, oh, fuck.
I believe in God.
No, if he was alive, if Bill Hicks was alive, I would probably go outside and see him.
All right.
But that's only because we're talking about someone very, like a very
Right, so
specific.
let
If
me-
Drake was outside, I wouldn't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's no. Okay.
He'd be outside.
I wouldn't give a fuck.
No.
He'd be outside.
No shot.
Let me explain.
Drake was in bed style.
Let me explain.
No
I'm
shot.
a fan of.
I would beat him up.
I'm a fan of Drake. Okay. I'm a fan.
I'd call his dick
I
small.
just want to. This is what I'm
be
trying to
like-
get at. I'm a fan of Drake. Okay. I'm a fan of Drake. Champagne
Are you?
Poppy. Who's not? Right.
Wait, hold on. But are you a fan of Drake?
I'm a fan.
All right, go ahead.
What are you trying to say?
Keep going.
I don't know what that means. I'm
Yeah.
gonna figure it out later.
No, it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
mean
watch this
anything.
tape back. I'm gonna watch the highlight reel.
It doesn't
Fuck
mean
you.
anything.
I'm a fan of Drake, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lose my mind over the fact that he's nearby,
Right.
right? And if he were to talk to me, I honestly would be like, "Hey, what's up?" All right, cool. Yo,
I mean,
good
Billy
album,
is
by
right.
the way.
Billy is right in the sense that we won't know unless it happens. Like,
Yeah, Okay, here's the thing. I'm a big Trevor Noah fan.
if you saw him, would you be like,
I did see him.
okay,
So I saw him in the spring of 2023.
just outside somewhere?
Yeah. So I did one. I told you about it. I did one open mic in November of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do comedy for like 5 months.
Okay.
It's just PTSD. It was like, oh my god, this was the worst thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in March of 2023. And my immediate reaction was, yo, it was good, Trevor. It was like, oh, hey. I'm like, yo, I read your book, Fire. And he's like, oh, thank you, man. I'm like, yeah, enjoy your walk.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, cool.
That's cool.
All right.
That's a fine way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
People who are like, blah, 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 blah. But there's nobody that you would do that you'd fanboy out on? There's no one?
No, because the thing,
You don't know until you actually see
I
it.
know that. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I don't think I'm ever going to be like, oh my God, take a photo of me. Get a selfie. Oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Dude, I'm never going to be, I don't think I'm ever going to be that guy.
With anyone.
What?
I'm a huge diehard Met fan. And
Same.
over the fall, for work, I had to put a lapel microphone on Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge.
As a Mets fan, though.
I'm still a Mets fan, but that's still like, oh shit, it's fucking Aaron Judge.
All right, yeah, I guess. But does that mean you're a bigger diehard baseball fan than you are a Mets fan?
I'm usually a fan of the sport first, and even as a Met fan, I admire Judge, but you still have that little bit of fan.
Did you talk to him like, oh my god? It's
I was chilling with him the whole time. Yeah.
Oh no, that's not what I said.
He wanted
not
to
what I
ask if you were being gay with Aaron Judge.
That's what I'm asking.
Nah, I kept it casual.
All right, that's what I'm saying though. What I'm saying is,
But inside, I'm purposely keeping it casual.
Yeah.
but I know you are
And
because
you were purposely keeping it casual with Trevor Noah.
That's true.
I know.
Because you don't want to be a lunatic.
Yeah.
Thank you. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to
But
say
inside,
is,
you're like, oh shit, Trevor Noah.
yeah, obviously. Okay. All right, guys. What are we talking about here? I thought we were on the same page this whole time.
We are.
I said I'm a fan.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
We're
people,
agreeing with
I know
you.
a lot of people.
We're
I'm
saying
not
the same
fans of
things.
nobody.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of my own like father. Okay.
Right.
All right.
You think he's listening?
He could be one day. I don't know. I don't care. All right. But I'm not a fan of most people.
So bring Drake. We all right, Drake's coming in right now.
All
He's
right.
gonna sit in the couch next to you.
Yeah.
And
And he's
Shit,
gonna
what's good, bro?
play
Yo,
with
fire
his dick.
album. Fire album. Yo, are you gonna fire back at Kendrick? Nah.
Yeah.
All right. Pussy. You know.
He did lose.
He did lose.
Even
But
whether he says anything, he lost.
So if Drake came in here, I would literally be like, why are you here? If Drake came in here, this mic is gonna fucking. We're gonna figure this shit out right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling this motherfucker. You know what it is?
It might be too high.
Yeah, no. It's the seesaw effect.
Ah.
So, yeah, if you go lower,
And then
he'll get it. He'll get it. I'm leaving him live.
Yeah. We're doing this live. Severance is really fucking good.
Severance, is that with what's his face? The
Michael
dude
Scott.
Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I
No.
think that's his name. What the fuck's his name? Michael
Adam
Scott's-
Scott. Adam?
Scott.
Adams. Yeah, Adam.
Something like that.
the dude from Parks and Rec, right?
Sure. I've never seen
Oh.
the show, but he's in a bunch of shit. He's the brother in Step Brothers,
Adam
the douche brother. Adam
The douche.
Scott.
Adam
Michael
Scott.
Scott's from The Office, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Scott. So
That show's really good.
okay.
Severance.
I'd get severed.
You think so?
I would get severed. Yeah.
Oh man.
What is it?
So it's like he works at a company
Yeah.
that put a thing in his fucking brain that
Does
when
he work at the company that does that? Oh, yeah. he
yeah,
does,
it's called
actually.
Lumen.
Yeah.
He works in the in like the basement,
Okay.
and that's special for people who are severed. So they have a procedure done to their head that they don't know anything about their life outside of work when they're at work, and then when they're outside of work, they don't even know what they do for work at all.
Wow.
So it's like the
It's a
idea of
separation between
Yeah.
leaving your work
your
at
brain.
work.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the main character, like he lost his wife in like a tragic car accident.
Okay.
So when he goes to work, he's not like miserable because he's not. He doesn't know that even happens.
Yeah.
He's able to partition off that trauma.
Yeah, but they also don't know what they're doing for work, which is like, what the fuck are we doing? Are we doing something bad? Are we doing something good? What's the deal?
Yeah. He just goes to work, and when he gets there, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
How does the chip like trigger? Is it like
It's like a
location
location
based?
thing. Yeah.
It's when he goes down the elevator. Like he's normal, goes into the fucking thing, and then he goes down, and he's like,
and he's miserable again.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Damn.
It's pretty.
Wait,
simple.
is the job related to the chip?
No, the job is like menial. They don't even know what they're doing. They're like moving. They're like grouping numbers on a fucking computer screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of like a big play on, if I had to guess, the monotony of having a job.
Yeah. That
And
sounds right.
yeah, it's almost like Excel sheets, but not as ordered. They're kind of just doing bullshit,
Okay.
which is what an office job in the conventional sense seems to be.
Yeah. Just move this from there.
Yeah, just put these numbers in these boxes.
Click.
How horrifying, right?
Yeah. Send email.
Did you ever get looped into an office job? Did that ever happen to you?
I did do mortgages.
Oh, when 2007?
Adjustable
Yeah.
rate.
Adjustable rate. Yeah. And it got real. And then I got out of it because like there were some like all the requirements. I'm like, oh, I get this. Like, oh, you need a W-2. You need, all the, paycheck and like,
Credit
whatever. Some
report.
of the, it was a wide ranging amount of people who were applying for loans. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, just tell us how much you make and we can give you the loan.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think that's how that works, dude. Like I tried to do that. I'm like, oh mom, I need, lunch money because we're going to go here. And she's like, well, where are you going to lunch? I was like, just give me $30. She was like, no.
Yeah.
You're probably just going to end up at McDonald's or something like that. Get the McRib. And,
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, tell me where you're going. And I was like, and then that like moment, like when they like the requirements to get a loan were like kind of real fishy. I was like, fuck this. Like this sounds like really weird. Yeah. This doesn't sound right at all.
Just say a number.
Yeah.
Tell me a number.
Tell me a number.
Yeah.
We'll put it into a spreadsheet, and then you can get X amount of money. And I'm like, oh, no. And I was just processing the loan, too. So it was like a matter of getting the documents. I was like, wait, we don't need to get documents anymore? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then, that was as close as I ever, like, got to an office job.
It was just a scout's honor.
Yeah.
Scout's honor.
That's what it became. And people wonder why there's a financial crisis.
But do you promise you'll pay it back?
Yeah.
That's all you ask him.
That's all. And then, like, there was just like a lot of weird situations where, like, well, if there's like, 5 people living in this house and they can all their W-2s, like, we're doing some weird kind of like shitty math, and you need, and you're all gonna put your names on this, on the contract or whatever, on the mortgage, on the loan papers. And it was just like, this doesn't sound right either. There were just so many weird situations where I'm like, this is not a situation where I want to grow in.
Sounded like a little bit of a narc.
Who, me? No, what?
Like, I feel bad about this.
Yeah, I feel I never narked on anybody. I was just like, hey, whatever financial situation everybody gets into, that's fine.
Hey, it wasn't illegal yet.
Yeah, it wasn't illegal yet.
Yeah.
And so, I was like, all right. And then I was like talking to my friend. I was like, why don't you like work with me? And it was like just being a supervisor at a bookstore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
I
that
get
was
down
chill.
with that.
Yeah. It was a good vibe.
I'd work at a bookstore.
Yeah.
Mainly because I see a lot of myself in the main character from the show You.
Oh, I haven't watched You. Wait, that's a creepy ass show, isn't it?
Yeah.
That dude, I've only heard creepy things about that show, man.
He just stalks chicks and kills them. That was the joke I was trying to
Okay.
make. They'll get it at home.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah.
Is that
That's a good show.
It's a good okay.
You get wrapped in.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
It sounds like Law and Order. Just longer. Longer. What happens if we take this one guy and we see how many like kills he gets over the
It's fucking stressful, dude. You start watching that shit. It's one of those things where you're getting stressed out watching it. Another time where that happened to me is when you ever watch the movie Ray about Ray Charles?
Yeah.
Really good.
And he's doing heroin, but he's blind.
Yeah.
Those scenes, I'm like,
yeah,
how
and he's
good is
just
heroin?
figuring it out. He's like, I was like, what is going on? Yeah, man, those were awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, heroin. I saw heroin once, and I was like, nope.
In real life?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's like seeing a like a white lion or something,
It was
like something rare.
Yeah. Well, it just
Look at that liger.
yeah, and
But instead, it's a guy doing heroin.
It's a guy doing heroin.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't know however my roommate got his hands on it. He was like, all right.
Man.
It was like, yeah. It's like, hey, we got heroin. I was like, that looks like. I was like, okay.
Like it was a big find.
Yeah, it was a bit. Hey, I thought you were just picking up the pizza, and then like, he came back. No, we stopped and got some heroin. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then we got the milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it like he put it down. I was like, that looks like dirt. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not putting dirt in my nose. Yeah.
Holy fuck. And they did a little heroin.
They did some heroin.
Did a little bit of heroin.
Yeah.
Did they ever do it again?
No.
It's not addictive.
No. No, we moved on.
Yeah.
He grew opium.
Okay.